Hello and welcome to part 3 of the week 2 UT3 tutorial and review. This tutorial will cover setting up a basic ladder and a basic door. Alright, let's get to it. I've already set up the basic building brush in the area that I would like my volume to show up. So volume works just the same as any geometry that you might want to create. It'll show up right here. Alright, so we get our ladder volume by going to brush, add volume, ladder volume. I'm gonna move this over here. And there's my ladder volume. Now to make my ladder volume work, I need a pathing node. So go to generic browser, actor classes, navigation point, ladder. Exit the generic browser, add the ladder, add here. Move that into our volume, and now our volume acts as a ladder. So anywhere within this volume, we'll be able to climb up. Just moving that over so it isn't on the broken part of the fence. There we go. Alright, so now we're going to set up our basic door. So we're going to do two types of doors. We're going to do a triggered door and one that opens when you touch it. Alright, so we're going to start with the trigger first, since that's in essence exactly like our lift. So add actor, add trigger, move it over here, and over here. Display, 0.5. I just kind of do that out of habit. Alright, now we need to go to our generic browser. Load LT doors, right click, fully load. Currently I'm using a couple of doors that I've already placed, or doorways. Alright, now, whoa, add actor, add interp static mesh LT doors, rotate it, move it into position, scale it down, use uniform scale, and scale it up. There we go. Alright, and since it's an interp we need to go to collision, collide, collide block all, dynamic SM actor, lighting environment, light environment component, be enabled. Alright, now we need to link our trigger to our door, so go to kismet, select your trigger, go back into kismet, right click, new event using trigger 1, used, select our door, go back into kismet, new matinee, and double click on matinee, and that will bring up the window. Use your time slider and move it all the way to 1. Scroll that way, move it to 2. Right click in this gray area here, add new empty group. We're going to call this door 001. And right click, add new movement track. Press enter. Scroll to the end, press enter. Move that out of the way. Get into an orthographic view. And move it down. Alright. Now we can exit out of that. Click on our trigger. Connect its out to play. There we go. And now we want to add in a delay so we can actually walk through the door without it closing on us. So, add new action, misc, delay. We're going to connect the matinee complete to this one, delay start. We're going to set the duration to 2. And we're going to go finish to reverse. click the trigger, set its max trigger count to 0, so we can have an infinite loop. Gonna close that. We're gonna test it. Actually, I should probably rebuild the level before I test. I'm amazingly coherent for this early in the morning. Unreal is an unhappy camper, apparently. There we go. Alright, so our ladder volume works. Now for the door. There we go. Alright, so now it opens and delays for 2 seconds and closes again. And apparently loses its lighting on its way doing it. Alright, now let's set up our touch volume. So we want our basic bling brush. Okay. There are other ways to select you. Without selecting it, you can hold control, and no matter where your building brush is, if you hit control and left drag, it will move your building brush. Alright, I'm just going to edit its vertices really quickly, instead of actually just setting how big I want it to be. Messed it up a little bit there. There we go. Alright, so now I have my volume where I want it, for the most part. Just going to move it down a little bit. Alright, now we want to go to brush, add volume, and add trigger volume. Move the building brush out of the way. Click here, go into Kismet, and go to New Action, New Event using Touch, and go to here. There we go. Now the door will play whenever we either use our trigger or we touch it. There's no sense in making another sequence just so we can do this over again. So we're going to put this in its own sequence by selecting everything. So you do that by Control, Alt, left drag, right click, create new sequence, level 3 door 001. And that put it into its own subfolder. Alright. Now, max trigger count 0. Close that. Rebuild the level. Play from here. Alright. Alright, everything seems to work well. And that is the end of this morning's tutorial. Thanks for watching.